Hey guys, doing a back-to-back Quillboard video, mainly because this one is just a complement to the previous video and really goes into the end of turn scaling gems and just that end of turn Quillboard comp. The previous video was talking about the kind of in-combat scaling using stuff like Tough Tusk and 3 little Quillboards, and I'll link that one at the top here. But let's go into the end of turn Quillboards just because this is your other really strong synergistic Quillboard board that is really just popping off and just does a lot of scaling. This board really has a core of in the end game you run the Jazzer, the Murloc Murkai, and Gem Smuggler. And that gives you a little end of turn ability where the Murkai will proc the adjacent battle cries, those being the Jazzer and the Gem Smuggler. Jazzer every turn will be buffing your gems, and then the Gem Smuggler will be able to put those buff gems on all of your minions. You can make this stronger by utilizing other really strong end of turn effects like Bran and potentially something like Drakari. Where this is really strong is it's really easily to make your Jazzer and Smuggler golden because you can use the eyes spell, and that because they're a 2 and a 4 drop, you're able to make them golden, and that just doubles your scaling. And that we've talked before about how important it is to have exponential scaling. This is really also extremely strong when you're playing a hero like Shutterwalk. Generally, the way you play Quillboards right now is you do something like a Piper on Tavern Tier 3 as a way to get your attack scaling, and because it's a death rattle, you're able to get that gem scaling every turn. And generally, you're not able to do this with the health buffs of gems. Normally, you're kind of reliant on the ability we have at the end of the game, or doing something like Rylak and Jazzer. But where Shutterwalk is really strong is you're able to reapply the Jazzer buff, and that gives you really strong health in the mid game, and really makes it a lot easier to stabilize your board. You'll see that we also utilize the beast synergies. So we talked about Rylak. The other thing you can do is use McCall as a way to buff your gems. Specifically in this game, we were doing the Jazzer scaling very early. We were able to hit a golden Jazzer really early, and that gave us a ton of health on our gems. And it wasn't until I think turn 7-ish where we found a Piper, which is generally kind of late for Quillboard boards. So something that we were able to do is only keep this on for 4 turns. We ended up selling out of the Piper on turn 10, but a way that we were able to kind of get a lot of attack scaling very quickly is we utilize Monstrous McCall. And you know how much I love Monstrous McCall because of how many synergies you can go around with a core of something like McCall and Rivendell. And we didn't even run the Rivendell here, but you can imagine if we ended up putting like a Rylak in this comp, we could have really gotten a really good core with the Rylak and the Bran and just gotten a lot of gem scaling that way. But anyways, we used the McCall to proc our Piper in the the mid game. And this made it so once we got to the end game, we already had that attack scaling, and that way you don't need to worry about gem buffing in the late game. Really, by turn 10, you don't want to be doing any attack scaling with the Piper because that's one less board slot that you can do that for something that would be the exponential scaling. And unless you're running this exact comp, you don't even really want Jazzer anymore because you should have ideally already gotten all your gem buffing, and at this point you're really just trying to generate as many gems as you can. I guess one other thing that I guess I really want to say is the win condition of this comp is finding some type of utility. In this game, we honestly our only utility during this ended up being Prophet of the Boar. And previously I said how much I absolutely love Prophet of the Boar and how strong it is right now. It is the strongest turn 3 minion that you can play. It has something like a 0.5 in the play impact, which is absolutely insane for a single card. And really, you'll see how much gem generation we got in the mid game that got us to our late game spot in a very healthy life title. But something you should really keep an eye out for when playing these kind of comps is it's very easily scammable. Unless you play any utility, you have 7 units that are very vulnerable to any type of like scam if they're doing something like poison Murlocs or they have enough brambles or abilities to kill minions themselves. This board is going to be very vulnerable to that. So something you should keep an eye out for, especially in the late game, is trying to find ways to give your minions Divine Shield, potentially summon more units, play some type of anti-scam yourself. You'll generally have 1 to 2 flex spots in this board that you can either take out some type of the exponential scaling for your last board or two, or if you need to just get out of the gem buffing core altogether, especially with Shutterwalk, you could keep something like the gem smuggler after all the gems are buffed and only use that as your scaling and just get rid of the Jazzer. But what makes this comp really good is you're able to take one unit out at a time for those cases where you're trying to tech against certain matchups. So hopefully this helps you. I know this is probably going to be one of the last cool board videos I make because I've kind of milked it for all it is. I think the only thing I really want to show off now is a gem comp, but really want to highlight how this being one of the older comps is still very strong, and you don't necessarily need to go that a gem route for getting a really strong Quillboard board. So good luck on your guys' climbs. Good luck out there. See ya. Bye.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me, but they hate when you're successful cause they try to be. They sit there being judgmental because you're trying things, and they just want you to settle and do the right thing. So get a good job, don't slack off. Wake up every morning, make a good impression on your boss. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, and when you're making money, make sure you don't spend it too soon. Fuck that, I'll do what I wanna do. I got a different path from everyone, and that includes you. Who are you to tell me how to live life? In these times it feels like nobody's right, yeah. So I'ma figure out what else we succeed, and then invest all of my time into that and proceed. I need whatever the hell could make me happy, and I don't think you have a clue what could that be. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I think this life could be special if I get rid of the devils. They think that I am a rebel, I think they want me to settle. There's nobody on my level, they think that work is too stressful. I think that work is essential, the grind is all in your mental. And I don't think you understand what I'll go through just to be in control of my life soon. All the negativity, man, I'm immune. I don't really need a mask with all I've been through. I've been making changes for the ages. 5-10 year plans are contagious. I attack that shit, I'm tenacious. And if you ain't, get the fuck out of my way then. Got one life, I won't regret it. I will fight until I get it. I'll look back one day from heaven and say, damn, I learned some lessons. And say, damn, I have no questions. I had fun in every second, and the journey was a blessing, yeah. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could